Female SP in plain clothes reaches the station with her sister. Inspector behaves rudely, and what the SP did to him left everyone stunned. Watch the video till the end for the full story. Friends, the city's police station was lost in its own sluggishness. It was a normal day when an old, dilapidated Maruti van pulled up outside the station. Two sisters got out. Their identities were hidden in their plain clothes. The elder sister, Sandhya, was about 30 years old, with a calm but determined expression on her face. The younger sister, Priya, a few years her junior, was a little scared, clutching her elder sister's hand as if she were in an unknown jungle. As they entered, their eyes scanned every corner. Inspector Tiwari was sitting in his chair, laughing loudly on the phone. The constables in front of him were also joining in his laughter. The air was a strange mix of carelessness and arrogance. Sandhya stepped forward and said softly, "Inspector, we need to file a complaint." Without even looking, Tiwari gestured with his hand for them to wait, as if they were some ordinary beggars. "Wait a bit. I'm not free right now." The clock's hands moved forward 15 minutes, but the inspector was in his own world. Priya nervously said to Sandhya, "Sister, let's go." "It doesn't feel right here." Sandhya reassured her. "Be quiet. We won't leave until our request is heard." There was a quiet, yet unwavering determination in her tone. This time, Tiwari looked at them with a sideways glance. A smug smile appeared on his face upon seeing their clothes. "Oh, what happened? What mountain has fallen that you're in such a hurry? Stand in line and wait for your turn." There was a sharpness in his tone. A strange glint now appeared in Sandhya's eyes. "Inspector, I am speaking to you with respect, but I feel you are taking undue advantage of being in uniform." Tiwari suddenly stood up from his chair, anger on his face. "Listen, don't create so much drama. I don't know who you people are or where you came from. Everything goes on here. Get out of here, or else..." His sentence wasn't even complete when Sandhya pulled an ID card from her pocket and waved it in front of Tiwari's face. "Inspector Tiwari, mind your language. Otherwise, this might be the last morning of your career." Tiwari's eyes fell on the ID card. For a moment, he felt like his breath had stopped. The card did not belong to an ordinary person. It had a golden Ashoka chakra and some words written on it. Ms. Sandhya Shukla, IPS, Superintendent of Police. A silence fell over the entire station. The laughter and carelessness that hung in the air suddenly vanished. The constables' faces turned pale. Sweat began to bead on Tiwari's forehead. He stumbled backward, as if someone had pulled the ground from under his feet. The arrogance on his face had now turned to shame and fear. "Ma'am, I didn't know." His voice was trembling. Sandhya said in a calm but very strict tone, "If you had known, maybe you would have welcomed me with flowers. But is this the behavior for every common person? Is this uniform just for showing power, and not for helping people?" She looked at her younger sister, Priya, and said, "She only tried to file a complaint. But your behavior, it shows that this station is not ruled by law, but by your whims." She dialed a number on her mobile phone. "Dig, sir, this is SP Sandhya Shukla. I am currently at the city police station. Inspector Tiwari here has shown serious negligence and misconduct while on duty. I want you to immediately investigate this matter and suspend him." Inspector Tiwari sat down on the floor. His head was bowed in shame. He now understood the price of the negligence and arrogance he had shown just a few minutes ago. Sandhya walked out with her sister. Outside, the sun was shining, but inside the station, darkness still lingered. This was the beginning of the day when an SP not only used the power of her position, but also showed what a police officer's true duty is. The next day, this news was in the headlines of newspapers. Arrogant inspector taught a lesson by SP. SP ma'am in plain clothes shakes up the station. Inspector Tiwari suspended. Everyone in the city was talking about this incident. Sandhya Shukla had become the talk of the town overnight, not just for her strictness, but also for her love of justice. When this news reached Sandhya's home, her younger sister, Priya, was still a little scared. She sat on the sofa, flipping through the newspaper pages. "Sister, was it really necessary to do that?" There was an innocence in her voice. Sandhya sat down next to her and held her hand. "Priya, Do you know why we went to that station? Priya shook her head no. We went there to help a relative of ours. Her daughter had been missing for 3 days, and the police had not taken her complaint seriously. Sandhya took a deep breath. People like Inspector Tiwari are hollowing out this system. If an SP has to fight for respect and justice, what will happen to common people? Priya looked at her sister. There was no longer fear in her eyes, but pride. But what will happen now? Won't Tiwari try to get revenge? Sandhya smiled. Maybe he will, but I am not afraid of him. I believe my work will protect me. A week later, the investigation into Inspector Tiwari's suspension began. Tiwari tried to leverage his political connections. He contacted high-ranking politicians, and one day, Sandhya received a phone call. On the phone was a senior politician. Sandhya ji, you are a very good officer, but some things have to be overlooked. Forgive Tiwari. Sandhya said in a calm voice. Sir, what I did was within the bounds of the law. If you want me not to fulfill my duty, you can give me a written order. The politician hung up the phone, but Sandhya knew it was just the beginning. One evening, as Sandhya was returning home in her jeep, a black car blocked her path. Sandhya immediately became alert. She knew this was no ordinary incident. 2 masked men got out of the car. They had weapons in their hands. Sandhya took out her revolver. Who are you people and what do you want? One masked man said in a sarcastic tone. SP ma'am, you are very brave. But every fight cannot be won alone. Sandhya aimed her revolver. If you people are Inspector Tiwari's men, tell him that I am not one to be afraid. Suddenly, some more people came from the other side. They surrounded the masked men. Seeing this, the masked men panicked. They tried to get back into their car and escape, but they were stopped by a gunshot to the jeep's tires. Don't run, Inspector Tiwari, Sandhya said with a smile. Hearing this, the leader of the masked men panicked. He removed his mask and stood in front of Sandhya. He was none other than Inspector Tiwari. Did you think I would give up so easily? Tiwari said angrily. I knew you wouldn't give up, so I had already planned ahead. I knew you wouldn't leave me alone, Sandhya said. In fact, when Sandhya received the call from the politician, she had become suspicious. She had immediately alerted her team and had deployed some of her trusted constables in plain clothes for her protection. Tiwari was arrested and given a harsh sentence. This incident once again made Sandhya Shukla a hero. She was not just a fearless officer, but also a person who used her position not for her sister's safety, but for justice. After Tiwari's arrest, Sandhya one day received an anonymous letter. It had only 2 words written on it. Be careful. Sandhya took the letter seriously. She knew that there could be a bigger hand behind Tiwari. A few days later, she received another letter, this time with an address written on it and below it. Another game will be played with you. Sandhya sent her team to that address. It was a deserted, desolate warehouse. Upon reaching there, the team found a laptop in a locked room with a video playing. In the video, there was a man sitting with a mask on his face. His voice had been distorted. SP Sandhya Shukla, he said. You caught Tiwari, but you don't know that there are more of us. If you want to see your sister Priya safe, you will have to play a game with me. Suddenly, a picture of Priya appeared in the video, sitting somewhere else, unaware. Sandhya's heart sank. She immediately sent her police officers to Priya's house, but she was not there. Sandhya knew that this was no ordinary criminal but a cunning player. The next day, Sandhya received another call. It was the same masked man on the phone. Where are you? Sandhya asked angrily. I can be anywhere. You must now follow my rules, he said. Your first task is to go to a big politician's house and steal a red diary from there. The diary contains some secrets, which I will tell you about later. Sandhya knew it was a dangerous task, but she had no other way. She went to the politician's house alone, and with great difficulty, managed to get the red diary. The next day, she received another call. You did a good job. Now the next task is to give this diary to a journalist whose name is written in the letter. Sandhya did just that. When the journalist opened the diary, it contained the names of many big politicians of the country and their dark deeds. Seeing this, the journalist was stunned. When he published this news, there was an uproar all over the country. People took to the streets and started protesting. The government also came under pressure. That same day, Sandhya received another call. "You have won this game. Now your sister is safe." Sandhya asked, "Who are you, and why did you do all this?" There was a slow, calm voice on the phone. "I am also a police officer. I did all this because I knew I couldn't do it alone, and I trusted that you could." The call was cut. Sandhya later found out that the officer was none other than the DIG who had helped suspend Tiwari. Several months later, Sandhya Shukla was now at the position of DIG. Her bravery and honesty were cited as examples. Her life had become busier than before, but one thing had not changed: her simplicity and her unwavering dedication to justice. One evening, she was sitting with her sister Priya in a coffee shop. Priya was now a little older and more confident. "Sister, do you think that DIG will come to meet you?" Priya asked. Sandhya smiled. "I don't think so. What he did without any identity or name. His only goal was to clean up the system." Just then, an old crumpled envelope was placed on their table. It was a waiter who placed the envelope and left without saying anything. Sandhya opened the envelope. Inside was an old ink-written letter. The letter said, "Sandhya, you fought a battle that I never had the courage to fight. Today, I have come to thank you. I am the same waiter who just gave you coffee. I knew that if I revealed myself, our safety could be at risk. From today, I will live my life in peace. You are my inspiration." Sandhya closed her eyes and smiled. She hugged her sister. With this, our video also ends here. And if you liked the video, please like the video and subscribe to the channel.